Hi, I'd like to welcome everybody to Bio 169. This is Anatomy and Physiology Part 2 for the online section for the spring 2024 semester. And so I want to go over a few things here in Blackboard with you, kind of get you set up, oriented for the course. I've already opened a Blackboard course here. And of course, the first thing you're going to see is the announcements page. And so for the announcements, make sure you kind of take a look at this. Each week, I'll send out 2 or 3 announcements with important information, updates on due dates, assignments coming up, different things like that. This also goes to your JCC student email. I've already given you some important to-do kind of checklist things this week. And so to begin, we're just going to kind of look over a few things here. Make sure you go over the syllabus. I'm going to go over that with you in the video. Another thing is you need to complete this enrollment verification quiz. If you've taken an online course before, you know all about this. This is a very simple quiz. It doesn't affect your grade, but it's very important because this records your attendance for the first week in the course, and it has to be completed by Thursday, January the 18th. And so it's about 10 questions. Doesn't take very long. You can access it right here. I've also got another link I'll show you in a minute inside of the Learning Modules folder. It's the same quiz, just take it one time. And that just means that you have successfully entered into this course. That goes to the registrar's office so that they can keep track of your attendance. Third thing is we will use a lab kit this semester. That information is here. It has to be purchased from the JCC bookstore. It includes your dissection supplies. We'll be doing 2 main dissections this semester, and so it includes the dissection supplies. Well, I'll talk more about that a little later. So make sure you get that kit early on because you'll need to kind of get that kit from the bookstore early on, so we'll be ready to do the dissections. You also need to register for Pearson's Mastering. That's the software they're going to use. If you had Bio 168 in the fall semester, then your Mastering access is probably still valid. Depending on what version of Mastering you purchased, sometimes they have a 6-month access and sometimes they have a year access. So depending on which version of Mastering you purchase, it should still be valid for this semester. And then I'm going to show you this assignment schedule or pacing guide in the course information section. It basically has all of the assignments, all of the due dates in there. It's a great way to kind of stay organized in the course and making sure that you don't forget any of these assignments. We're going to be using the Respondus program to proctor your exams this semester. I've got a video about this, and again, you may have used this in Bio 168. It's the same program, works the same way, but we'll be using that again. I'll show you where that's located in Blackboard. A great way to contact me is to send me an email. And so if you've got a question about the course, you can't find something, not sure what to do to kind of get started, send me an email and I'd be glad to help you out that way. All right, so that's just kind of a quick little overview of kind of a few things to get you started. Let me let you kind of take a tour of some of the main highlights here. And like I said, if you've had 168 here at JCC, or if you've taken an online course before, many of these things will be familiar to you. Again, here's that enrollment verification quiz. Click the link, take the quiz. It takes like 5 minutes to complete. Course information. The My Instructor link that just has information about you, about me, not about you, about me, and including when my office hours are. And so I'm here on campus Monday through Thursday. So I have office hours posted there for you. If you want a virtual appointment, send me an email. We can set up a Zoom meeting, but you need to kind of contact me and let me know when you know, what's a good time to do that. I do have an office phone number listed there, and my office here on campus is in the health building, room F110E. I want to show you, we're going to go to the syllabus in just a second. I want to show you the course assignment schedule that I mentioned earlier. This is just a PDF file. You can download this. If you can print it out, I would suggest printing it out. It's just kind of a nice thing to kind of have in your notes and in your binder somewhere that you can kind of keep track of everything. Most of the time, these dates don't change, and so there may be a few exceptions along the way. but this is a great way to kind of keep up with what's going on. You can check off as you go along. And so this is showing us this first week. The due dates here are listed: Sunday, January the 14th. We've got a lab that's due, we've got a discussion board that's due, and we got a dynamic study module that's due by Sunday. Okay. And so I've tried to list out the holidays as well, spring break, Martin Luther King holiday, the exam dates, when they open and when they're due. And so many times the due dates are on Sunday, but not always. To keep that in mind, that the exams a lot of times are due different days of the week. So just kind of, again, that's why this schedule is very important to have. It's always here on Blackboard, so you can just refer to it digitally, or you can print it out. All right, syllabus. Again, the syllabus is here always, and so you can always refer back to it here. Some students like to print it, and you can print it or print sections of it if that will help you. Not a problem there. And so a couple of things here. This is the prereq is 168, so you have to successfully complete 168 to be able to take 169. The last day to withdraw from the class is March 27th. I'll remind you about that in an announcement later on. This is after spring break. And if you, after that, if you do not attend the course, or in other words, I take attendance by your completing the assignments. And so if you don't attend the course, you can be dropped from the course after that date, in which you'll get a WD for your grade. My information is, again, listed here. And we just went over, and like I said, the best way to contact me is through email. If you got questions, although I do have office hours, you can contact me there also. Course description, this is really just a continuation of 168. Some of the main topics we're looking at now include going through the remaining body systems, the 11 body systems. You should have covered 4 main body systems in 168. We're going to be going over the remaining 7, including the endocrine system, the cardiovascular. There's 3 chapters dealing with the heart and blood vessels, lymphatic system, respiratory, digestive, urinary system, reproductive systems, male, female, as well as some information on metabolism and nutrition. And then acid base and fluid balance, electrolyte balance, all kind of go along with the urinary system there. This is a asynchronous online course. That means you kind of free to work on your own. I have videos that are posted for each of the chapters we cover. There are, however, specific due dates, like I said in that pacing guide, for your homework assignments and labs and exams and things. Read over the student learning outcomes. These are some of the main goals for the course. And especially if you're in a particular program pathway like nursing or medical assisting, radiography, you can kind of look over those. Our textbook has not changed, and so we're still using the Ammerman textbook. The Pearson, the Mastering Access Code includes that ebook. The kit I mentioned already, that's available from the bookstore. We're also using McGraw-Hill publisher has virtual labs that we're going to be using through a program called Connect. And so many of your lab assignments will come from the virtual lab. This is already part of your tuition, so you don't have to buy anything separate. It's already covered there in your tuition, and I'll show you how to access that. We will be using the proctoring software again. So that means you have to have access. Obviously, it's an online class. You have to have access to reliable working internet, computer, that sort of thing. If you don't, then it's expected that you use, a computer lab somewhere, either here on campus, the JCC library. And so you'll be expected to have access to a computer, whether it's Windows-based, Mac-based, Chromebook-based, and audio-video capability. Evaluation methods, this is how you're going to be graded. And so, of course, we're on the 10-point grading scale, and I keep grades updated in Blackboard. Your official final grade is going to be posted into self-service at the end of the semester. Everything's based on a 1,000 point type system, grading system. And those points come from different unit exams or module exams. There'll be 4 of those, and each one's worth 100 points. We'll have a final exam that's worth 100 points. The final exam is part cumulative, but it also includes the last 3 chapters in the course. We'll have dynamic study modules and chapter quizzes, just like we had in 168. Lab assignments. There's 14 virtual lab simulations. That's the Connect virtual labs. These are pretty fun. I think you'll enjoy these. And they're computer-based lab simulations. They do a good job teaching some of the main aspects to AMP2. But there's also going to be some hands-on dissection labs. And so we're going to be dissecting the heart and also a pig specimen, fetal pig specimen. That's at the end of the course. Right. There's also a couple of lab quizzes. You'll see these a little later in the semester. And so this is just a kind of a little assessment, just to kind of test you on what you've learned from some of the virtual simulation labs along the way. I do require that you complete a Respondus onboarding quiz. And that just tells me that you have everything working in your device, your computer, desktop, laptop, Chromebook, whatever it is, so that I know that you're ready to take your online exams. And so this does count for 5 points. It's a very small amount of points, but every point is important. And so I'll show you where that's at in this video. Here's a nice little breakdown, I think, of all of the different assignments, how many of each assignments we have, and the number of points there. The point system is listed here for you. 900 points to 1,000 points is an A in the course. The B in the course is 800 to 899. C in the course is 700 to 799. A D in the course is 600 to 699. Anything less than 600 is an F in the course. Those points come from all of these categories here. And so all of these points for the different assignments add up to 1,000 points. We'll have one discussion board assignment that I'll show you. It's kind of a getting to know you type of assignment. That'll count 5 points. We'll have one that Respondus practice quiz. That'll be 5 points also. Please realize that there's no late work accepted. There's no extra credit points built into the course. And so make sure that you complete assignments on time, because late assignments are just going to be graded as a 0. So that's, again, where this assignment schedule is going to help you out. If you follow the assignment schedule, have it by your desk or wherever you're doing your work, check all things as you complete it to make sure that you have completed everything on time. And again, keep the grades updated in Blackboard. When you do complete assignments in mastering, please be aware that it takes about an hour or so, sometimes a little longer, but about an hour to sync your grades from mastering over to the Blackboard Grade Center. So there's a little lag time there. It will update, but it usually takes it about an hour or 2. Critical success strategies, just to make sure that you are spending enough time each week, even though many of the due dates are Sunday. Don't wait until Sunday night to start on the assignments. I always suggest to students to treat this as a seated course. So that means you should be reading the chapter, taking handwritten notes, making flashcards, doing your homework assignments throughout the week. Don't wait until Sunday night and realize you've got 2 dynamic study modules, a quiz, 2 labs to do, or whatever the case is. And so so make sure you are keeping up with assignments as you go through the weeks. The other thing that I try to do is open up additional weeks. So if you want to work ahead, I think that's a good thing. So maybe you go ahead and knock out the first part of the week's assignments early on. You're ready to start on week 2. That's okay. And I encourage that so that you can go ahead and work through a week or so ahead of time. And I think that'll be great. The attendance policy is very important. Attendance is based on your assignments that you complete each week. And so it's really part of 2 labs, 2 parts. One is the lecture portion and the lab portion. And so you have to demonstrate active weekly online attendance by submitting at least one assignment for each of those sections. A lecture assignment is anything like the dynamic study module, a homework assignment, a discussion board, exam, something like that counts as a lecture assignment. Your lab assignments will be your virtual labs, like lab 1, 2, 3. There's like, what do we say, 15 labs in the course. And so you got, well, 16 labs in the course. You got 14 virtual labs, and you got 2 dissection labs. That counts as your lab assignments for each week. And so as long as you're submitting something each week, that counts for your attendance. If you miss 2 weeks worth of assignments in any type of combination, whether it's lecture or lab, you miss 2 weeks worth. Maybe you don't do anything for 2 weeks, then you can be dropped from the course. Or you don't do anything for this week and you don't do anything for, week number 5 in the semester. They don't have to be consecutive weeks. Any 2 weeks that you miss is 2 weeks of assignments you've missed. And so you can be dropped from the course that way. Maybe you don't do any lecture assignments for 4 weeks, but you're doing the labs. Well, that's still 2 weeks worth of assignments because it's any combination of lecture and labs. So let me know if you have any questions about the attendance policy. If you're dropped because of attendance, you'll get a W or withdrawal grade. It doesn't affect your GPA. There's no grade penalty, but it may affect your financial aid package, but you would have to check with financial aid to see how that affects your individual financial aid package if you have one. And then some additional things in the syllabus. We do have resources available to help you out. If you need help in the library, the Learning Resource Center is available. The Jaguar Writing Portal is available for courses that include writing. Occasionally you'll have a student alert that gets sent out. It's basically like a progress report that may get sent out. And if you have questions or concerns, please let me know. My contact information is here also. If I can't help you in that area, you can always contact the department chair, Mr. Aaron Brigman. You can always, if he can't help you out, then you would next go to our Associate Vice President, Ms. Lisa Cooper. General policies, these are in everyone's syllabus. Just very quickly, academic integrity. This is not, to prohibit cheating. And again, for your exams, they are proctored, and so that records a video. I'll watch that video. If you are cheating, then I will let you know. You'll get a 0 on that exam, and you will be reported to the student services. Confidentiality policy. This is FERPA. This means that JCC does not release any student information unless you have approval, you've granted permission to a particular person there. Accessibility services. If you require some type of accommodation, then you need to access the accessibility services webpage. Contact them first. They will contact me and let me know what kind of accommodation is required there. Non-discrimination, Title IX, sexual misconduct. Please read over that. JCC does not discriminate in any of these different areas. And so please let me know if you have any questions there about any of that information. And some of these things don't apply really to a completely online course. That is a very quick overview of some of the main things in the syllabus. But like I said, if you have questions about it, please feel free to contact me. If you're not sure about the grading policy or the attendance policy or some of the things there, I will be happy to cover some things in more detail if you have questions that I can help you with. All right, so that's course information. Like I said, it's always here. There's that assignment schedule. Download it, print it out. Respondus folder is here. If you're new to Respondus, then you need to make sure you go inside this folder. There is a link here on how to get started using this proctoring software. And so I encourage you to watch this video. And then for everybody in the class, you need to click on the folder and you need to complete this onboarding quiz that's here. This is your 5-point quiz. It's just an assignment. Completing it, it's like 2 or 3 questions. It just tests to make sure your device, your computer, laptop, Chromebook, whatever you're using, MacBook, works with Respondus. That tells me you're ready to take the exams. It's a 5-point assignment, so don't forget about it. It's right here. If you click on this and it tells you to enter a password, that means you're not using the Respondus browser correctly. And if you've had 168 that used Respondus before, you know what I'm talking about. You have to have the browser activated first and then navigate to the exam or the quiz in this case. And so if you're brand new to this, there's some directions here on how to get started. There is a little tutorial from the makers of Respondus. There's a quick start guide. Here's a link to download the software. Here's my quiz. And again, like I said, I've got kind of a walkthrough video here. Learning modules. Once you kind of get things set up and you're ready to begin the course, click on the Learning Modules folder. This is where all of your chapter information is going to be. I've got an introduction to the course. Start here. A couple main things here. Some of this is kind of repeated. Again, do that enrollment verification quiz. I have another link for it here. It's the same link that's up in the main toolbar up there in Blackboard, but here it is. It has to be completed by Thursday, January 18th. Do this right now. If you're not familiar with mastering, then here's kind of how to get started there. The only other thing here is 2 of the dissection labs. The 2 dissection labs that you're going to complete require a video, but you need to record that video and you need to send me that video link. Blackboard is not large enough to hold everybody's video, so you can't just upload your video to Blackboard. So you got to find some way to upload your video and share the link with me. An easy way to do that is through YouTube. Most of you already have a YouTube account, but if you don't, there's a instruction page there on how to create a YouTube account. Upload your video there. And you can unlist it if you make it unlisted if you want to. That's perfectly fine. Send me the link. And then that way I can watch your video. You can also upload to a shared drive folder. So you could use a Google Drive folder. You could use Microsoft OneDrive. But if it's shared like that, you need to make sure you give me access to it. Otherwise, I can't. Even though you have given me the link, I have to have permission, in the Drive folder to be able to view it. Your main assignments are listed here for week 1. The first chapter we're going to do is the endocrine system, chapter 16. Fairly long chapter, and so what I've done is divided that chapter into 2 weeks. And so the first chapter here, or the first part of the chapter, is open. I've got the due date here for the assignment, Sunday, January 14th. Everything that you need to access and to complete week 1 in the course should be in this folder, including this big, long instruction box here. Basically, read over chapter 16. I would start with the first 3 sections because, like I said, I've divided chapter 16 into 2 weeks. Read over the first couple of sections. Watch the videos that I've posted here below. Complete the first homework assignment, which is the dynamic study module. Got some if you've never done dynamic study modules, they're basically like a little flashcard system. As long as you complete all those questions by the due date, you get full credit. Complete the introduction to class video assignment below, and then lab 1. So as we scroll down, you see all of these different links. So the first thing you see are some PowerPoint notes. Download the notes. This goes with chapter 16. We have the assignment here for the class video assignment. This is just a discussion board type of assignment. It's the only one like it for the semester. It's just a way for you to introduce yourself to your classmates. It doesn't have to be very long, just a couple of minutes is fine. I'm just looking for you to kind of introduce yourself, maybe tell, what are you studying here at JCC? Why are you studying that? What are your future career goals? Just a little bit about yourself. And so when you're ready to post your video, like I said, you need to upload it to something like YouTube. You can unlist it in YouTube, and then you can click on this and you can upload your link, not your video, but your link here. Also respond to one of your classmates' discussion board posts. That's also part of your grade. And just, kind of introduce yourself and then respond to their posts. Just kind of make a connection inside the class. Back to chapter 16, I've got chapter 16 lecture videos are here. I've divided these in a couple different lecture videos. I've also included, most of the weeks I'll have a folder with additional videos. So click on here. These are kind of optional other videos that I think are helpful that you may want to check out on the endocrine system or on other systems as we go through. Here's a link to the dynamic study module. Here's a link down here to your first lab. Before I do that, I'm going to go back. I haven't done this yet. I'm going to go back and put a link to your chapter reading assignments. So for now, one thing you can do is go to the e-text link here. And if you click on the Pearson e-text, it pulls up the chapter book for you, the textbook for you, just like before in 168. But I think what I'll try to do is go back and I'll add in a link to that chapter inside of the folder for you. I meant to do that earlier, but I'll kind of put it right up here so you'll have up at the top the link to chapter 16 and a link to the notes. All right, so those are your lecture assignments. So for this week, read over the first couple sections of chapter 16, complete one dynamic study module, which is down here. Watch those lecture videos. Okay. I would suggest taking notes of some type, either based off those lecture videos or based off the PowerPoint notes, making some flashcards. There's a lot of information in chapter 16 on endocrine system, a lot of different hormones and different structures, glands that you're going to be going over. So make some flashcards based on that. When you're ready to do the lab, lab 1 is kind of an orientation lab. So click on the lab folder. Everything you need here is in the lab 1 lab safety folder. I've even recorded a virtual lab introduction video. We're not going to go over that here, but watch this video to kind of help you get started with the virtual labs. I've got 2 lab assignments here. The first one is optional, meaning I'm not going to give you any points for it, but it does go through kind of how to do a virtual lab simulation. All right, so there's a link to it. It opens up in a new window and it goes through Connect. The one that's graded is lab 1 on lab safety. It counts 15 points. And so you click on this and it'll go through. Once you complete, there's like three or 4 stages to that lab. Once you complete that, then you get your 15 points. Okay. When you finish all of that, I don't have the part 2 open yet, but I will. But I'll try to have this open early so that if you're ready to keep going in the course, notice that the due date here is Sunday, January 21st. It's hidden right now from everybody, but I'll try to finish this up, open that up early. So in case you want to work ahead, you can click on this folder and you can start working ahead. It's not required, but I'll try to have that available in case you have time to look ahead. When it comes time to do the exams, you would click here in the exam folder and you would see your exam folder, also like a study guide and the exam link for the Respondus exam link would be here inside of the exam folder. One other thing, we're kind of wrapping up here inside the e-text folder here. That's where you find the e-text book. There's also a link to a study area. I highly recommend using the study area. When you go here, see if it works. When you go here, it will open up several important resources for you. You can study by chapter. It also has a link to the ebook. The e-text is here also, study by chapter. So let's look down at chapter 16. There's a practice test here. And I recommend doing that practice test, and it'll take you through and ask you about 15 questions just to check to see what you know about the chapter. After you go through and go through chapter 16 a little bit, see how well you do. Some of these questions from the practice test I'm going to use on the exam, and so it'll be nice to kind of get a look at, see what some practice questions really look like. There's also some module quizzes. They only have about 2 or 3 questions there. But I would go through and use these practice quizzes to kind of help you. And so that's the study, that's that study area. Right. I think that's about all. Of course, make sure you are checking your grades and your email and things. But I think that's all for this video. I know it's a lot of information. Please contact me through email or stop by my office or call me on the phone in the office there. I'll be glad to help you out if I can. And I hope everybody has a wonderful semester. Thanks, guys.